And I'm always going to attribute having a full roster. When they have a full roster, they can beat anybody. They can play with anybody in the league. It's when they're missing 6 guys, it's almost impossible for them to even have a chance to compete.
Still no Zach Collins, hasn't played since late December, and again, as you mentioned, Trey Jones is out for at least the next 2 weeks. There's a nice shot by Peyton Pritchard, who's turning into a great starter this year after winning 6th Man of the Year for Boston last year.
Saw how strong he is, his lower body. He pushed Patrick Williams off, who's a big guy, and got a jump shot.
Good cut by Dosunmu, but didn't have the space for the layup. Giddey steps out for a 3.
And they miss Vooch. He's inside again with Peyton Pritchard.
Celtics will switch a lot, so you might end up with the mismatches you want. The Bulls are just not used to feeding Vucevic on some of those mismatches.
Well, they better learn. I mean, because there's some games coming up, in the next week or so that you're going to see a lot of switching.
You're going to learn today. Learn today. Here is Simons with a 3. Rebound Herter, who's done a nice job in his extended minutes tonight. Been such a key player off the bench for Chicago. Has started a handful of games this year too. There's the mismatch. Why Vucevic got rid of it. Hopefully Williams can hit. He doesn't.
Vooch, if you're Billy Donovan, you have to tell Vooch, hey, look, man, you got to take advantage of these matchups. He's been playing very, very well in the post the last few games. You've got to take advantage of that matchup. He's 6'1", and you're passing that ball out, to a guy at the 3-point line. We don't, you don't know what his percentage of making that 3-point shot is compared to being in the paint, where you got a higher percentage chance of making a 2.
Simons' basket has put Boston back in front. Williams rolling to the rim with the left hand.
Nice moves by Patrick Williams.
Came back in Minnesota after missing a couple of games with a sprained right ankle, had 5 points and 3 boards. He's got a basket tonight. Here is Hauser for 3. Rebound Vucevic. Could use some help. Giddey is being covered up by Gonzalez. Hugo Gonzalez trying to stick with Giddey, who takes the bump and will go to the free throw line on the foul against the 19-year-old Spaniard. I'm really impressed with Gonzalez.
A year, because you had, you got rid of, you let Horford go. You think that can probably come out of the Eastern Conference, and they have shown that, hey, listen, all you got Jaylen Brown and you got Pritchard, right. You got a chance.
They're number 2 in the East. Back of Detroit by 4.5 games. They started 5-7. They've gone 23-9 since.
It's a mentality.
Nice block by Vucevic, who continues to rack them up as a
pages.
Gone back-to-back years with 60-plus wins. Been in the Eastern Conference Finals 6 in the last 9 years. Here is Pritchard, blocked by Dosunmu.
Good defense. He didn't quit on the play, Adam. He could have easily quit on that play and got hung up on the...
Been more implemented, has been sharper, and that goes even when Smith is on the bench.
Oh, my.
That is Cato with a 3. That won't go. He's not hit one in his NBA career yet. Simons fires on the second chance. This is what Boston does very well, gets second chances.
Yeah, that Cato shot caught me off guard there.
He's 0 for 8 in his NBA career from 3. Here's Vucevic working on Cato. Williams to Giddey. A little behind the back end of the post for Vucevic. You can do it against the big guy.
Hey, listen,
you should probably do it against the smaller guy.
It's a simple game. Yeah, if you can do it against a 7-footer, Pritchard's not going to block your shot. Cato will, but Pritchard won't.
Oh, tough drive. Easy one for Simons as he rolls right to the cup.
Turnover.
Another turnover. There is Simons. He'll fire away again, and that one rims out, and Giddey snares and clears. On the attack, Buzelis lines up a 3, trying to bank it. Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
We're not expecting that.
The Old National is open. It's open tonight.
Old National banked 3.
Old National Bank, baby. Oh, yeah.
Here's Pritchard. Lob up there for Cato. And a timeout from Billy Donovan. Back and forth we go. The Celtics played a game with a...
Chicago legend, that's right, #1 MVP, the youngest to be.
That they needed to make sure that he had his opportunity because they knew he was capable of doing special things, the way the community and city protected him. What he did when he came back, rejuvenating Chicago basketball, which had been in the midst of a very difficult decade. Kids like Modest Buzelis, who came up here, and what he's meant to the NBA over the last 15 years and beyond. I think all of those things make it a very worthy jersey retirement tonight as Giddey misses.
Well, you kind of liken it to the great Gale Sayers, who came into the NFL like a Haley's Comet and just blew everybody away with his ability. Then he got hurt, and then he wasn't the same player. He ended his career with a serious knee injury.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of story of Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose came in like a Haley's Comet, one of the most explosive guards that we've ever seen. Played above the rim, youngest MVP. All those things factor. And then, people don't remember as a travel. What they don't consider is what he did after those injuries in other places.
Right.
Guys who would have loved to have his career, the second part of his career, coming back from those devastating injuries. So, if people say, well, what if he wouldn't have got hurt? If he wouldn't have got hurt and been healthy, I think he'd be a definite guy that would be one of the top players in the NBA. If you look at Russell Westbrook, who's the highest scoring guard in NBA history, Derrick Rose would have been there first.
Point guard at the top of the list. White punches that one. Garza battling with Buzelis.
And I saw it. I witnessed it. People got the flu when Derrick Rose came to town. Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving, all these great guards didn't want to play against Derrick Rose. The prime Derrick Rose, Chicago Bulls Derrick Rose, before he got hurt. Guys with I think that's where load management started. We just didn't call it load management. We just called it the Derrick Rose flu.
Second chance opportunity for Boston, and Garza, who's shot well this season in limited duty, unable to connect, but a foul called on Kobe White.
And it would be
sprayed back.
So someone's out with the flu. Oh, they got the Derrick Rose flu. Okay. Okay. All right.
Ask Joakim and those guys. They'll tell you. We'll talk with Joakim later tonight. Rebound by Smith off the Brown miss.
But the cool thing about all that is, all jokes aside, he had the utmost respect from everybody in the league. Him and Russell Westbrook, I believe, are the forefront of all these young guards like Ja Morant, these explosive guards that come in the league that, knock you away with their
coming up. That's what I remember. I remember sitting in the 200 level coming to a game and just being like, who's that blur on the court? The first time I ever got to watch Derrick play in person. And you go, that's number one. He's, as the kids say, he was built different. He could do things that other human beings could not do. Dosunmu sticks with it.
I used to ask the great late Johnny Red Kerr what it was like, because I played with MJ, but what it was like to call those games, coming as me now as a broadcaster, and just what was it like watching Michael Jordan every night? And Red said, no, it was like seeing something unique every single game. You never knew what you were going to see, but whatever you saw, you were witnessing greatness. And I got that same feeling with Derrick Rose. You just did not know what to expect out of him, whether he's dunking on, Greg Oden and LeBron and Dwayne Wade, one superhero versus three. That's what it was kind of like. They all teamed up against him. And, it was just some remarkable things you saw from a small guard.
Listed at 6'3". Garza hits along two.
I tell you, he's been rejuvenated, man. This is a guy who was a player of the year, consensus All-American, and never got a chance to get any footing in the NBA.
Nice drop by Smith.
And finally coming here in Boston and getting an opportunity to play. He's sit on the bench in Minnesota for so long.
And Detroit didn't use him well. Minnesota barely used him. Should be improving screen on, as we were just praising Luka Garza as he kept riding.
Some certain way, well, he's not athletic enough. What can he do to help your team win? Okay, if it's just one thing, put him in that position to do that one thing.
It's a great example, and we were talking with Drew Carter about that. Luke Cornett, former Bull who went to Boston and eventually parlayed his role into a big-time contract with San Antonio this year.
And that's what I'm saying. The coaches sometimes look at a guy, well, he's not athletic enough. Oh, they look at all the weaknesses that a guy had, but then why draft him? Why bring him in as a free agent if you know that he has all these weaknesses? But how about, let's say, listen, what does he do well? He sets screens and rolls. He's physical. Whatever he does well, put him in position to succeed, not into failure. There's a lot of guys like Luka Garza on people's benches that they're just waiting for opportunities to play.
Brown has a switch that he likes, and a good job by